Hey everybody, it's Gray again, and it's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. Back again, and it's Monday, July 15th. Listen, the great Linda Ronstadt, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Linda Ronstadt, wherever you are. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby. Good. I'm gonna say it again. Oh my God, what a singer, huh? Oh my God, what a voice. It's been over 10 years since Linda Ronstadt retired. Miss her. She's hanging in there, got Parkinson's, but what a voice, huh? What a career. Think about it. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby. And you know what? She was at her height in the 70s. Remember? She came up with those California girls like the Beatles and everything. In the 70s, 80s, but she says, I just read a recent interview with her, and she said her best CD was in the 90s. So, then, Linda Ronstadt, happy birthday wherever you are. All right, so what we're doing today is we got to talk about the weekend since I haven't been on for a while, and then we're going to do our TV classic in a week. I think you're going to enjoy it. I picked out a really good show. Hey, before I forget, this is our patron saint of this fine podcast. I don't know if there's a podcast like this anywhere in the world. It's stupid, but it's entertaining. Look. Our patron saint, and here he is. Bud. Now, don't be alarmed. Not a real cake, not real candles. That was a fake cake we got him for one of his birthdays. Bud, we love you. We miss you. And of course, one more. Look. There he is. That's one of my favorites. He's wearing a babushka. A babushka. That's what my mom and my grandma, they used to wear them to go to church. And when it was windy outside, it's sort of a Polish, Slovakian thing. A babushka. There he is. I told you, he sort of looks like my grandmother who came over from the old country. I work for food. There. Okay. All right. Alexa, stop that. Stop it. All right, so we got stuff to talk about here. What a weekend, huh? Ah, Jesus. You had people getting shot. You had baseball. You had all kinds of stuff, going on. I mean, what the hell is going on in this world? By the way, it is steamy hot. Okay, it's July. But, it doesn't have to be this friggin' hot. And, it's been like 90 degrees. It's bad when it's nighttime, but it's still like 91 degrees. So, what the hell, man? Anyway, so they say by the end of the week here, it's supposed to be getting better. So let's hope so. The old boy needs a break. I tell you what, I went to the ball game this weekend. The the Phillies lose 2-3 to those lonely Oakland A's. Who would have thunk it, right? Well, I happened to go to the only winner over the weekend. It was Saturday. I was there, and the Phillies, they won 11-5. Harper hit a home run. Turner, they're like the old Phillies. You know what it is? Don't get panicky. Don't. The Phillies swept the Dodgers, and that was such an emotional series. The Phillies kicked their ass. It was a natural letdown. I mean, the last series before the All-Star break, Phillies coming off of that big high of sweeping their arch rival Dodgers. And the A's coming back to town. And of course, the Phillies are going to take him for granted. Of course, it was a letdown. Of course, there's no reason to be panicking. Yesterday wasn't good. Losing 18-3 is never good. Never good. It was embarrassing. The A's hit 8 home runs. Oh, guess what? I had tickets to yesterday's game, but I sold them. Imagine you bought those tickets, the poor sap. Oh my God. No, 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 no. I hope they had fun. It's always fun going down to the old ball run. But yeah, good thing I saw those tickets, I'll tell you. Anyway, Saturday was fun. It was a blast. And it was photo day. Hey, I gotta tell you about photo day. So I met most of the guys, as usual. There are a few who are a little, I wouldn't say snotty, but they just walk by and wouldn't stop and take a picture. Some of them, they didn't even want to get close to you. Like Bryce Harper, he's a good guy, but he's like 50 feet away and just waving. But Bryce Harper, it's not going to hurt you to get close to the fans, okay? Touch the fans. Let them touch you. Shake hands. Give them the fist bump. Take a few pictures, okay? We all took showers. What the hell? So there, and so many other, like Garagola, you get to see him. He just walked down the middle of the field, waving like the queen, like this, And, but I tell you what, my boy Carl Schwarber came through again. I took a selfie with him again, just like last year. And he is the best, the nicest guy. Kyle Schwarber. I took a Schwarber with him. In fact, I think somebody else took a picture and he was there and I was in the back doing this. So could I say I photobombed Schwarber? Well, whatever. Anyway, the other guy who was really nice was Alec Bowe. Yes, Alec Bowe. And I took a selfie with him. And if I ever figure out how to use this damn thing, I've been on the air for over like 330 episodes now. I still don't know how to do it, how to use it. But if I learn, I'll post the pictures. If not, you can see them on X, Twitter, whatever, X. So Alec Bowe was nice. And so was Amundo Sosa. He took a selfie with me. He couldn't get the phone to work, of course. So he stood there for a minute. And he finally he said, vamos, let's go. Take the selfie. Took the selfie, off he went. And there you go. So, but it was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun to go down on photo day. We were sweating our asses off down there, but it was fun. It was really a lot of fun down here. So good to see the boys. And I gave the boys a little talking to when I was down there. I had to kick some ass. I said, boys, you don't want to lose to the A's. Do me a favor. Uncle Greg's in the house today. You got to have a win. And they did it. They did it. I think they were afraid I was going to come into the clubhouse after the game and kick some more ass if they didn't do it. So they did it. Anyway, all right. So what about all this other stuff going on over the weekend? I don't want to talk about politics too much. This is a break away from politics. We needed some laughs. We needed to forget about that shit. But all I got to say is, nobody deserves to be shot. Even if he is Satan, nobody deserves to be shot. And I think what's going to happen just between you and me and the other, hopefully, millions of people watching this, I think they're going to find out more about this stuff, because when I was watching, I got home from the game, turned it on, saw what was going on Saturday night. ABC, the first reports were that Trump got hit in the face with flying glass, that he was shot at, but he wasn't hit by a bullet. It was a teleprompter was shattered and the glass hit him in the ear, cut his ear. That was the initial report. And then ABC backed off and said, no, we want Trump to win. We have to make it a little juicier than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say he got grazed by the bullet. that way he could play off of that like he's the tough guy, he's indestructible, he always wins, and he's the war hero, tough guy. And then that will help with his poll rating. So that's gonna happen. So we're gonna find we should. But what? Just like our President Joe Biden said, we settle it at the ballot box. That's how we do it in this country. We settle it at the ballot box. There. Okay. But that's wrong. I had to. So it was wrong. Because some of our famous people died. They see it all in the news. Well, it's could be true. I mean, think about what happened. You had Dr. Ruth down, the little diminutive sex to Dr. Ruth down. And I remember Dr. Ruth from way back when. She was this crazy old lady used to come on and talk about sex all the time. Sex, that's all she talked about. And but she was a very, very smart woman. She broke a lot of molds and broke mold. She did. Back in the day when I was growing up in 1822, it was taboo to talk about some things, And she broke all those barriers. And I gotta give her credit for that. And you would never think it. You would think she was this little old lady who was coming making cookies for you or something, but here she was, showed up on talk shows like Oprah, Sally Jesse Raphael, Phil Donahue, remember all those old shows? And she would come on, and instead of talking about quilting or crocheting or something, or gardening, she would talk about sex and masturbation and things like that. So who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? But God bless Dr. Ruth. She was like 96 when she died. So she led a very long, fruitful, sexy life. She did. And then we had Richard Simmons die. Jesus. Richard Simmons himself, the sweating to the oldies guy. Another guy I grew up with. He was all over the place. When I was growing up, he had his own show. He was on other people's show. He had these videos out, sweating to the oldies. He was just everywhere. So he's gone. He's gone. God bless you, Richard Simmons. And then the last one was this Shannon Doherty. Oh my God. I never used to really watch Beverly Hills 90210 Sports 776 or whatever it was. But she was a cute girl. I tell you what, she was a cutie. Oh my God. So, and she battled breast cancer for many, many years. God love her. You know what I want to see before I kick the bucket, before I cash my chips in, before I play my final hole of golf, my final inning, the bottom of the ninth. I want to see somebody come up with a cure for cancer. That's what I want to see. I want to see some good. And that's the thing, I want to see some good happening in the world. Not all this crazy shit that's been going on. I want to see that announce it over the paper in papers or on the internet or whatever. That cancer is destroyed. A cure for cancer and stuff. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see before I check in. Okay, so I will talk about stuff. Our classic TV show of the week, huh? Well, this one, the routine, if you watch me, I've been doing classic TV shows now for a long, long time. We've done shows from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. It's a lot of fun to relive a lot of these memories with you, talk about some trivia of the shows. It's a blast. Well, I gotta know. And as usual, I don't play the theme song. And this theme song doesn't have a note. Let's see. And I usually screw it up, but so what? Who cares? It's just a thing. It's okay. You ready? Here we go. Now we're talking. Here we go. Here we go. That's my dogs are living. Where are you? All right, where's the shoe? All right, that's enough. Yes, it's Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son. That's our TV classic show. Oh my God, I love Sanford and Son. It was one of my favorite shows. I watch it every week. And you know what? Sanford and Son was one of the shows that could get me to laugh at them. It's very, very hard. You know me. It's very, very hard to get me to laugh out loud. I might give a little chuckle once in a while. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. But to get the like a big belly laugh, like a big that takes a lot. It really takes to get to me. Only a few comedians could ever do it, and a few TV shows, a few movies. Sanford and Son was one of them. I love the exchanges between Fred and Aunt Esther. They would just go at it toe to toe, and they were just great. So all right, here's some Sanford and Son stuff for you. All right, Sanford and Son was on NBC Fridays at 8 o'clock. You remember that? Fridays at 8 o'clock. It actually, I'll tell you what, Sanford and Son actually was the primary force to drive the Brady Bunch off the air in Chile. I kid you not, because they were in competition. Sanford and Son, the first show was January 14th, 1972, and the last show was on March 25th, 1977. Lasted 6 seasons, 136 episodes. That was a pretty good run there. Drove the Brady Bunch off the air. Sanford and Son was based off in an old British show called Steptoe and Son. Steptoe and Son. The theme that we were just singing that I just tried to sing, that was actually composed by the great Quincy Jones himself. Quincy, who would ever thought? Quincy Jones, the same guy who used to produce Michael Jackson, the Thriller album, all those great albums from the 80s and 70s. Quincy Jones did that song. And actually, the name of that song was The Street Beater. The Street Beater, which doesn't make sense to me. Why would you call it that? But anyway, I'm not here to criticize. Hey, the show ran 6 seasons, and 5 of the 6 seasons, Sanford and Son was in the top 10. It was a very popular show. And the last season, not so much. Not so much. And we'll talk about why it was canceled. But all through its run, very popular, very popular. And of course, you know what it is. It's about this junk dealer. A junk dealer named Fred Sanford, lived in this old dilapidated house, selling junk with his son, Lamont. And of course, we know Fred Sanford was played by the great Red Fox. 2 X's at him, Red Fox. No relation to Michael J. Red Fox was his all-time comedian. And I think he's best known now for Sanford and Son, but Red Fox was actually what they would call a blue comedian. He did a lot of swear. He did a lot of naughty words when he did his stand-up routine. Naughty. That's what he was known for before he did Sanford and Son. Desmond Wilson played his son Lamont. He was a great actor too. So here's what happened. Fred G. Sanford was actually, well, let's talk about it. The show itself was set in Watts, LA, Los Angeles, the Watts section of LA. Now, in the show, Fred, the character Fred, grew up in St. Louis. Grew up in St. Louis, moved out to LA later in life after he was widowed. And that's the thing. Junk dealer, living out near LA with his son. That's what they do, sell junk for a living. It's about the characters and family and friends. It's about that. Well, it was one of the groundbreaking community rock shows. This was before Big Mountains. And Sanford and Son came before the Jeffersons, Good Times, What's Happening, all those great shows. Sanford and Son was the granddaddy of the ball. So it broke a lot of barriers. And actually, it was NBC's answer to All in the Family. You know, little known secret. This is just between you and I. Norman Lear, the guy who developed All in the Family and eventually Maude and the Jeffersons and Good Times and all those great shows on CBS, Norman Lear actually, he was uncredited, but he was actually one of the people who developed Sanford and Son too. But don't tell anybody. He was. And there was a lot of catchphrases in Sanford and Son, like Fred would always call his son dummy, you dummy, you dummy. And of course, the big thing was when Fred had a surprise or something unexpected, he would always claim that he was having a heart attack. He was going to go join his late wife Elizabeth in heaven, and this is the big one. This is the big one, Elizabeth. I'm coming. Red Fox. Fred Sanford was actually the name of Red Fox's real little brother, Fred Sanford. And so they named the character Fred Sanford. Lamont. Lamont was named for Lamont Lomax, who was the pitcher for the Homestead Grays. That's how Lamont, the character Lamont, and Sanford and Son, that's how he got his name. Red Fox was a fan of the Homestead Grays, a Negro League baseball team, very, very famous team back in the day. And the pitcher, Lamont Lomax, he was a fan of, and he decided to name Lamont. And Fred G. Sanford, G stood for Grady. That was Red Fox's real middle name. Red Grady Fox. All right, so Aunt Esther had a last name. Her name was Anderson. And she was played by the great LaWanda Page. I loved Aunt Esther. She is one of my favorite TV characters of all time. She was this Bible thumping older lady who would just always call Fred a heathen, heathen, and they'd go in and go toe to toe. Fred would give it back to her. It was just classic stuff there. Aunt Esther would usually get the upper end of the argument, But she was great. I just loved Aunt Esther. The thing that made Sanford and Son so great was there were so many great characters. Not only Aunt Esther, but you had Uncle Woody, you had Grady, who eventually got his own show called Grady. What else? Which we're not going to talk about the spin-offs of Sanford and Son. But Grady got his own show. Grady was a friend of Fred's. And Bubba was another friend. Julio and Rollo were friends, sort of shaky friends of Lamont, Julio, I remember the one episode Julio had a goat, kept a goat. He was a neighbor of Fred's and also like a junk dealer and kept a goat. and the goat would come over to Fred's yard and eat the flowers and different things. That was a big episode. That's it. Trust me, it was. Later on during the series, Fred got a girlfriend. Her name was Donna. She was a practical nurse. Donna, a little younger than Red Fox, but there were cops in the show who would stop by once in a while to check on things. One of them was named Officer Hoppy, and he always, if you know his shtick, he would come on and he would use jive language because he was a stupid moron. He thought if he used language like back in the day, 70s, that mostly Black people used, like jive turkey, things like that, he thought he would assimilate into the neighborhood. He did it. He came off looking like a real doofus. But that was Officer Hutch. The highest Sanford and Son ever got in the Nielsen ratings was #2. It was the #2 show in the season 1972 to 1973, and in season 1974 to 1975. #2, do you know what the #1 show? But All in the Family, of course. So you had these two Norman Lear developed shows that were 1 and 2 together there. So that's how popular it was. I don't know how many people remember this or not, but during the 1973-1974 season, Red Fox walked off the show. He was in a salary dispute. He was only, quote unquote, making $18,000 an episode. Well, back in those days, in the early 70s, that was a lot of money, but it wasn't enough. So he walked off the show. He was off the show quite a while during that season, and he was still off the show during the first 3 episodes of the next season. What they did was, after they settled the dispute, they upped his salary to $25,000 an episode. Pretty good hunk of change back in the day. And he also got 25% of the show profits that the producers usually make. Red Fox got 25% of that. So he made out well. Think about it. Sanford and Son, you can still find it on reruns, right? TV Land or wherever, when it went into syndication. You still find it around. Red Fox got a cut of that, all For many, many, many years, Red Fox got a cut of each time Sanford and Son was played in syndication. So he made a lot of money off the show. I don't know if you remember or not, but Sanford and Son had this pickup truck. They used to haul the junk around, and it had the logo and the sign on the door, Sanford and Son Disposal or whatever. That truck is still around. It was a pickup truck. It was a 1951 Ford F1, and it was bought by a real. When the series ended, the truck went into retirement. However, it was brought out again because they had a sequel, I guess you could call it, called Sanford, and then the truck was brought back. But when the complete franchise, when the show stopped, was canceled, the truck was sold. It was sold to an actual junk dealer, a real life junk dealer who lived in Argos, Indiana. Yes. And then eventually he sold it to someone else. And nowadays, apparently the truck makes personal appearances around the Cleveland area. The owner lives in Cleveland now. So if you're ever around Cleveland or live in Cleveland, keep your eye out for the original Sanford and Son truck. You're not going to want to miss it. The final thing I have is, yeah, they tried to bring the show back. It had a nice run of 6 seasons. And actually, Red Fox, this is ironic because Red Fox, um, he walked off the show, as we said, for more money, which he got. But then after the show was canceled in the late 70s, I don't know. I don't know if he got typecasted or what happened, but he sort of found that, all right, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. You know what I'm saying? He could go blue again and do stand up in Vegas or something, but he wasn't getting the money. So he tried to revive Sanford and Son again during the season 80 to 81. And he almost succeeded in bringing it back. Guess what happened? Desmond Wilson, the guy who played Lamont, refused to come back. And you're not going to have a Sanford and Son without Son, right? It goes without saying. So eventually, that project fell through, and Sanford and Son was never revived again, and that was it. So, here's my final thoughts about that show. I really loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and they never used to get into too heavy topics. They always kept it light and entertaining. And Fred Sanford, everybody knew like a Fred Sanford. He he was just funny, and he played off of the other characters so well. And the other characters were very rich and entertaining, but they were mostly straight men for Red Fox. Red Fox was the show. Let's face it, he was the show. And when he walked off the set and didn't come back for a while, it just wasn't the same. I remember that because I used to watch the show every week. It was like Red Fox, when's he coming back? When's he coming back? And it just wasn't the same. They tried to write the scripts around Lamont, Grady, some of the other characters. Didn't really work. So, Red Fox was the show. So I'll always remember Sanford and Son, Friday nights at 8 o'clock. And remember it as the show that kicked the Brady Bunch off the air. So there you go. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you for tuning in to our TV Classic of the Week. Thank you for tuning in to the show. I'll be back again sometime this week. We'll talk some more crap. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. A lot of crazy stuff. And sometimes you just want to get away from that. Sometimes you just need to laugh, and sometimes you just need to chill a little bit, and get away from the real world. So come and watch me. If you don't catch the new episodes, there's like over 330 prior episodes that you come into YouTube and check out sometime, whatever you want, okay? So there you go. If you need a laugh, come visit. Anyway, so, hey, you know what? All-Star Game tomorrow night. Tonight, root for Alec Bohm, my friend Alec Bohm. He's going to be in the Home Run Derby tonight. Good luck, Alec Bohm. I don't think he's going to win. He's not really a home run hitter. But you know what? Let's root for him anyway, right? Tomorrow, All-Star Game. Phillies have 8 players in the All-Star Game. Can you believe that? 8 players. It's the most ever. And just hope nobody gets hurt. That's the other reason I'm going to watch the All-Star Game. I want to watch this Pittsburgh pitcher, Paul Skeens. He's great. The #1 pitcher, generational pitcher. He's starting tomorrow. I think he's 6-0 on the season. Great pitcher. So we'll probably end up in a few years with the Yankees and the Dodgers, because Pittsburgh, that's what they do. They develop these stars and then they trade them away, or they can't afford to pay them, or they don't want to pay them. And so they go to another team like the Yankees and the Dodgers. And that's probably what's going to happen to Paul Skeens. But anyway, Phillies, by the way, they draft a high school outfielder last night, #1 pick. Dory, his last name is Nori, Dory. And supposed to have a lot of speed, a lot of good tools. Center fielder, that's interesting, yeah. Somebody to keep an eye on down the road. I don't think we're going to see Mr. Dory for a couple of years, Andy. So, but give him a good 4 or 5 years, then we'll see him up in the big set. So anyway, all right, everybody, have a great Monday. Have a great week. I'll see you again soon. Everybody, take care. Chill. Stay cool. Peace and love. I'll see you soon. Eh? Bye-bye for now. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. I still don't know how to shut you off. Yes, I do. Bye.